Welcome back, young and old, to the FM LLaMa. We are loving life in the south of France since our move from the Polish second division. Form has been good, tactic is working well. We're not top of the table, but we're in a promotion shake-up, and today we have got a hugely significant game against one of our promotion rivals. So in the last episode, we had perhaps the best performance we have put in for the YouTube cameras since we started the save, really, when we raced into a first half 6-0 lead and then did absolutely nothing in the second period. But we followed that up by getting our noses well and truly bloodied by Rodez. We went down 4-1. They ran riot on us in the second half. Rodez are top of the table and 5-point clear as well. We'll show you the table in a moment. So Rodez are no mugs at all, and they well and truly put us in our place. But since then, form and performances have been pretty encouraging. So we got back to winning ways after the Rodez defeat by beating Bastia Borgo 3-0. The Moose was there, Husek on the score sheet as well, and Alexander Aranat scoring one of his long-range screamers. 3-0 up after 21 minutes, and then just like the Quevilly-Rouen game, we completely shut up shop and didn't do another thing for the next 70-odd minutes. We then beat the other team from Bastia 1-0, Musa scoring again. This guy has well and truly adapted to life in the French third division, and we feel mighty terrible for questioning his ability at this level at the start of the previous episode. We then beat Boulogne 2-0, the Moose again, and Jackson Mendes late on. We progressed in the French Cup, Husek and Mendes getting the goals. We beat Cholet 2-0, Jackson Mendes getting a goal and Morgan Gilavogu. A little bit of a blip in the 2-2 draw with Lyon Duchère. They got a very late equaliser through Gandhi, although he couldn't quite lead his people to victory after Morgan Gilavogu had scored twice for us. Then another cup win against Bastia, Eli Wahi getting the goal before we drew with Concarneau 0-0, leading us into today's game against Le Herbière, who themselves are third in the table. They were the early pace setters. They've stuttered a little bit, but they will overtake us if they beat us today. Let's have a look at that table before we get into today's fixture. So Rodez out in the lead, 5 points clear and looking pretty indomitable at the top of the table. Then we've got ourselves Herbière and Béziers, all in reasonably good form. Top two get promoted in the French third division. Third place team have to have a playoff with one of the lesser teams from the division above. So we'd like to try and avoid that if we could, and today's game would be a surefire way of just cementing our place in those top two positions. I think one of the things that we are most pleased with so far is how successful the new tactic has been since we took over. So the 4-4-2 that we played when we were at Shrubbery Glogov in Poland was really a Vanarama inspired formation. When we moved to the south of France, we decided that a new club would be a great time to try and experiment with some tactics, particularly as they didn't have the midfielders that suited a 4-4-2. Never really had any luck in FM20 with deep-lying playmakers, but Madianga has been absolutely sumptuous in that midfield so far. Not so much with the goals or the assists, and you would like a few assists from your playmaker, but that average rating of 7.53 clearly shows that he is involved in the play a lot. And Moyumbu, as well as the more defensive of our two midfielders, racking up an average rating of 7.22 in the league games. Nothing to be sniffed at. Another thing I've never been able to get to work in FM20, and something that I wouldn't dare try when managing in the Vanarama, is inside forwards. But both Gilavogu, Wahi, even Jackson Mendes when he's playing, have made made this role really effective, and it really allows the fullbacks to kind of overlap and get crosses in for the Moose, who is in rude form himself. 8 goals, 5 assists, 12 starts, 13 appearances in total. So the tactic has really bedded in nicely, and it's been really good to get something to work in game that isn't a 4-4-2. So to today's game then, we're going to keep Gillikins in goal, Monsecure Echeverria as our wing-backs, Reggie Perrin and Lucas Husek as the centre halves. We've got Madianga, Muyamba with Arenat in front of them. We're going to play Wahi and Gilavogu as the inside forwards. And the Moose, we're so sorry, Moose, that we ever questioned your ability when you only had 1 goal in 5 games. Now you are in such Robert Roode form. Hopefully you can seal us a very important victory for today's game. So let's get into the fixture then. We are playing Vendée à l'Herbier. They are going to be a decent team, I fear. We're going to have our attacking prowess being pretty sharp to get anything out of today's game. A draw would be a decent result, but a win would really set us on the chase of Rodez at the top of the table and put that little bit of distance between ourselves and Le Herbier. It's an away fixture. It's going to be tough. The Moose is in good form, though, of course. Don't even know why we bother saying that now. Of course the Moose is in good form. Husek as well has looked really threatening from set plays. I think he's got 4 goals for the season already. I think he might be our second, maybe third top scorer. But we're also playing some pretty nice football as well. There's Mayambu then, through to Gilavogu. There's the overlapping fullbacks that we talked about. Can we get it into the Moose? Of course we can get it into the Moose. God, he's in there like a rabid squirrel hunting for nuts in autumn time. Look at him. He may well applaud. Great ball in, Echeverria. Go on, the Moose is there. Loves that little dart to the front post. There he is. God, he's ratting away at the front post. What a man. He can even run through his opponent on the way back. Good start then, wow. Could we get another one before half-time? We're so far behind Rodez, we daren't drop points, even against good teams like Le Herbier. Gilavogu's looking like his condition's a little bit low. I don't think he's going to make it out for the second half. Got Jackson Mendes on the bench, though. His form's been pretty decent as well. Let's give them the complacency team talk. They've reacted well to that. Let's try and get Gilavogu through to the 55-minute mark. Okay, there we go. Let's make this substitution. We're going to swap him round for Mendes. Hopefully Mendes can prove to be as an effective attacking threat. Don't dive in. Okay, good. Blast that into the side netting. Who else has been playing well for us then? Arenat. Goodness me. That boy can strike a ball from distance. He's been great. Husek's been superb. One that maybe we're a little bit disappointed with. I know we're playing him out of position, but Eli Wahi is, according to the coach, is our best player. Not played great, averaging below a 7 so far. Maybe if we were playing him as a striker in his more natural position, he might be a little bit more threatening. But you don't dislodge the Moose easily. What can we do here? Maybe a little change. Well, no, Echeverria's playing well. Let's make a change in the defensive midfield positions. Let's take Mayumbu up and bring Raman Kome on. Not a particularly exciting game, but I'm not going to apologise for it. This is an important one for us. Dominating the match stats. Any kind of victory today, even a scrappy one, is, well, a welcome addition to our points total. Let's keep the morale up with a nice, encouraging team talk, and there we go. So we stay 5 points behind Rodez. They scraped a 1-0 victory as well against Laval. But the table's looking pretty healthy. A 4-point gap now between us and La Herbière. 4-point gap to dropping out of that playoff position. A 4-point gap between us and the other promotion chasers. The other encouraging news we've got at Toulon is we're also trying to blood a couple of youngsters that we found in the under-19 squad. So we got Mohamed Saeed, who's a centre-back. Granted, he's not a world beater, but he's got potential of maybe 4 stars there, and he's only 16 years old. Imagine we could stick 2 attribute points on each of his key attributes. Suddenly he's not looking like a terrible option at centre-back. So he's one we've promoted to the first team. We've given him a few starts and some sub-appearances, and hopefully we can carry on developing him. He's a little bit Paul mercenary at the moment, so we're giving him a little bit of tutoring as well. We've also got the beautifully named Eden Shabuabua, who is a midfielder. Again, imagine you put 2, maybe 3 points on some of those key attributes there. He's only recently had his 16th birthday, so by the time that he is 18, he might look like a player. So we're very pleased to have him. He also trains harder than you could believe. This guy's like a Navy SEAL getting ready for Hell Week, so we're absolutely delighted with his development. It'd be nice to try and bring a couple of academy products through during the course of the season. Perhaps the other bit of news to give you is the club's finances, which look absolutely rotten. When we took over, they were about £30,000 overdrawn. They're now 280 more or less overdrawn. So finances in the French third tier really look like they could be a little bit of an issue. We're below the wage budget, although only just. But I think our job for the January transfer window, rather than bringing anybody in, is going to be trying to just reduce the wage budget a little bit to nurse this club's finances through to the end of the season. Okay, things are looking pretty good. I think the next time we will return will be perhaps in the new year. But January time, we've got some big fixtures. Looks like we get a bit of a winter break before we've got games against Tours, Laval, Paris FC, and then we've got Rodez looming in February as well. Thanks for watching. Everybody that's subscribing is an absolute warrior. Thank you very much for that. As always, we will see you very, very soon for some more border adventures.